Brothers and sisters, good afternoon. May God bless you. I want to testify to give the glory and honor to the Lord. For a few days now, as a result of the worldwide coronavirus crisis, I had not been able to go out and sell. I sell fruit and I sell prepared food, and I go out and sell them. But I had not been able to do that. I had not been able to go out because we were all quarantined. We had to stay in our homes. But since Thursday, when Sister Maria Luisa, after the teaching, she prayed. And she prayed to the Lord exactly for the things that I sell. The sister was telling the Lord to bless that sale of fruit and the sale of empanadas, that the Lord may prosper it, that the Lord may not allow for money to lack. And from that day on till today, the Lord has allowed me to sell all of the fruit that I had. They have come to my house to purchase it. Everything that I prepare in food, they have come to buy it for my house. I have not had to go out. I have not had to ask anything from anyone except for God, because He is the one that has allowed us to sell. I have sold in a day, in a moment, what I used to sell in a week. And this is because of the support and the grace the Lord has outpoured on our Sister Maria Luisa. I have not lacked my food, and I testify all of this to praise and glorify the Lord.
Good afternoon, Sister Maria Luisa. My family and I would like to thank you for God's support during this situation that my husband is enduring, because we've seen His mercy and how He supports you, sister. I want to share that my husband began experiencing symptoms which frightened him, and he ultimately decided to go to the hospital. When he arrived at the hospital, he was immediately isolated and admitted because they were going to run various tests, and he could no longer breathe properly nor speak. They determined that he has pneumonia and an infection in his lungs. They admit him to the hospital and isolate him as a potential candidate to COVID-19. The hospital was going to test him for COVID twice, but advised he must wait at the hospital for the results. His condition remains the same, without any progress. His medication was changed 3 different times because it wasn't working. His fever was not going down, and it was consistently high. His headache also persisted and was showing no signs of improvement. We were told that you had prayed for my husband and that God revealed He was going to heal him, that he was going to come out of this safe and sound. We continue to trust in the Lord, but felt more rejoiced in hearing this news. And it was beautiful because we continued waiting on God, but with such happiness knowing that God had spoken, more so that it was through you, sister. And after receiving this message, yesterday afternoon, the specialist checked up on my husband and said that it was incredible how the condition in his lungs had improved since the infection had spread to other organs. And what the specialist originally went to go do was to put him on a ventilator, but after examining his lungs, he decided not to do so. This was later in the evening. Today, sister, he woke up feeling much better. His medication finally took effect, and I'd like to highlight something very beautiful, which is also a miracle of God, because his COVID-19 results, sister, came back negative. And that's so amazing, because where my husband works, there are more than 20 people infected. He was in contact with each and every single one of them, and many of them had the same symptoms as my husband, who all became sick within a span of 2 days, and they all tested positive for COVID. But sister, the only one who tested negative was my husband. Even though he was in contact with all of them, and with them at all times, he was the only one who did not test positive. This is all so wonderful, and I wanted to share this with you because it is a miracle performed by God, because the glory is for God, for his mercy, his fidelity, and above all, to you, sister, for the support God has granted you, because you prayed for him, and we know that the Lord hears you. And that's a great miracle, because God had spoken about all of this, and he's made such wonderful promises that he would protect his people. And I share this to give the glory to God. Thank you so much, sister, and may God bless you.
Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you about the greatness and majesty of the Lord. He has been fulfilling the promises which he made through Sister Maria Luisa in recent teachings given by her on the internet. I have gotten to experience this firsthand, and it's been wonderful. In the middle of this worldwide crisis, something difficult happened to me. At my job, all the work was suspended when the quarantine went into effect, and because of that, my salary was also suspended. So then I self-isolated myself as the government had ordered, but I still felt okay because I had some money in savings which would allow me to pay for all my necessities such as food. But as time went by, my situation got worse because I started to run out of money. So then I calmly prayed to the Lord because I knew he would manifest, and he did. Recently, on a Thursday, Sister Maria Luisa gave a live teaching. I usually watch the teachings in private on my cell phone, but that day I decided to watch it at home on my TV so I could watch it together with my mom. When the teaching began, something very beautiful happened. As Sister Maria Luisa began to teach, she told a testimony about how God has been working miracles, helping a lot of brothers and sisters in the church by providing the money and food that they need. Just as she was saying that, my doorbell rang. At first, that bothered me because I was concentrating on the teaching and it interrupted me. Also, I thought to myself, who could be coming to visit me when that's not even allowed right now, and especially during something so sacred and important to me? However, I decided to get up and go open the door. When I did, I discovered that it was one of my family members, and she had a large bag in her hands. I invited her in, even though she doesn't currently congregate in the church. She came in and said, "I'm just here to drop this off to you." That touched my heart because I knew that it was the Lord's hand and that he was manifesting. After she gave me the package, she said, "It's really not me who is giving this to you." Let me explain. She's a single mother with a lot of bills, and she's not in a financial position to be able to help us. Usually, we are the ones helping her. Then again, she said, "It's not me who's bringing this to you. My boyfriend came to my house this morning and gave this to me, and he told me to give it to you." Amazingly, we don't even know her boyfriend. We don't know his name. We've never even seen a picture of him because my cousin just met him. Neither of them go to the church. What's also amazing is that this glorious manifestation of the Lord all happened just as Sister Maria Luisa was telling that beautiful testimony. It's obvious that this was the Lord's manifestation. After my cousin left, we opened the package and it was full of a lot of food. Another wonderful thing is that this didn't just happen once. We received many deliveries in the coming days, and that's how the Lord helped us and provided for us. I testify to give all the honor and glory to the Lord.